Bitcoin is going to zero. Zero. Danger.
Good night, everyone. Welcome. Great to have you back, guys. Thank you for joining once again, Trading with OC, right here on the Pipe Academy show. Great to have you guys. Let me check out my microphone because I see that it's a little bit low. Oh, man. This thing is getting annoying. Every single time that I do the, what is it? The eCam stuff, man. My microphone just shits the bed, bro. Let me see. Let me adjust it. And I think I got it. There we go. Let's get it. I think that's much better. All right, so let's get it. Thanks so much to Top in the house. Very first one in the chat. Speed, what's up, bro? What is up, my friend? Long time no see. Great to have you around. That's awesome, Gary. What is up, bro? I'm very happy for you and really enjoying you seeing those trades, my friend. Soon you're gonna be calling out not the shots, the Lambos, bro. So I'm gonna be waiting my Lambo, all right? Next party, it's not gonna be at the bar, it's gonna be the dealership, brother. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, let's get it, guys, and let's take a look at where we left out. All right, there is the second part. We're gonna be going over where we left out yesterday. We're gonna be seeing the 15 minutes, how fast it moves, and how we're gonna be changing the perspective as we go. Because guess what, we had a beautiful trade to be taken. And I also know that somebody in here, of course, we know who that is. It's actually printing some money. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go to the charts. Okay, right here. Let's go. And let me just, of course, get myself prepared. And this is Giga, but we were on the video stuff. And we were also on Solana. All right, so I think this is where we left out, right? Video Solana. Where were we left out, man? Come on. Don't tell me that. Okay, yeah, I see it. I see it. My bad. All right, so let me just get rid of this. This is where we left out, right? So here's the thing. So we had a couple of indicators, right, that basically we're just using at nose 3. And remember that we called out this support area because we had predictive ranges, we have a support, and also we had, what was it? I think, was that, I don't quite remember. Yeah, blocks, order blocks, or liquidity zones. I don't quite remember. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, all right. It's not longer there. We already have taken it, all right? So, great. I mean, that means that it worked. So, based on the support and resistances first, right? There it is. Look at that. At the support. And based also on what we got, we were calling out speculative, right? Our next entry right here and looking for that flip of the ribbon. Look at that. Having that beautiful flip of the ribbon at support. And then, of course, calling out this zone, right, to take some profits. Remember, one of the most significant areas was the money flow POC. Right into the money flow POC. And not only that, let's zoom in here, okay? Very first thing that we need to understand is going to be capital preservation. That's going to be the next step, right? It's not only calling out entries, also taking some profits, right? So at this point, and I know this is gonna get a little frustrating because it did frustrate me at the same time when I started developing this this strategy, all right? But it was much more frustrating that then I just get stopped out, because here's the thing: once you get simple enough, you're gonna start hitting more entries, all right? And those entries are gonna start turning into more trades. Then you build the confidence. And once you build the confidence, bam, here comes the reality, and then takes you out. Why? Because you lowered your guard by concentrating on just entering, trying to squeeze as much money as possible, right? And you get the euphoric feeling that you are invincible, right? That you finally cracked it. So I'm here to tell you, perfect. You are on the right spot, right? You're doing great. Don't lower the guard. Remember, you're against a big boxer here, right? And the boxer is just looking at, that when you're boxing, you put up your guard, right? Then you throw a jab, and then you're uncovering this part. The boxer is just waiting for you to lower your guard because you just got, used to keeping that distance, and then he just knocks you out. All right. What am I talking? Or what is the actual thing in here? That sometimes it's gonna come back around and it's gonna start hitting your stop loss, right? So first you're gonna get many stop losses sometimes taken, all right, and then you're gonna start moving your stop loss lower, and then you're gonna circle back into the losing strike, or the other way around. You're gonna round trip, and then you're gonna get the frustration. Frustration is the knockout, right? Frustration is a knockout. So we need to keep our guard up, right? So always keep that guard up. Always keep that guard up. Let's talk about that in right now. So talking about not getting the stop out, right? Because regardless, a stopped out is a loss on the capital. It's a hit on the capital. Yes, it's a security hit, but it's still a hit on the capital, all right? So for me, as soon as we are fully on the green, what's fully? It's one full candle, both wick and body in the green. That's when I start considering, based on my oscillator, if I should be moving my stop to entry or at least reducing the risk. How can I reduce the risk? There's two ways to reduce the risk, or three ways, but back in the day, just two. We're going to talk about those two. First, taking some profits. It's already too early. I mean, it's too early. Let's not take profits just now. I know. I mean, this is just, come on, you're just squeezing this out too early, right? But what is the next thing that you can do to reduce your risk? They're reducing the amount of money that you can lose in the market. That's also reducing your risk. And what defines how much money you can lose? Your stop loss. So we can start moving our stop loss closer, all right? So either closer or to entry. Right now, as a personal preference, because I go to sleep with open trades, I move my stop to entry in. All right, Godfather, take the wheel. All right. So, I mean, that's what I do based on my strategy, or my style. But you can also choose not to push it all the way up, maybe just to move it closer as the trade develops. All right. So evolves. So the point is, well, then you're breaking throughout a resistance. All right, perfect. Let's take a look at glimpse at our oscillator. What are we doing? Hey, now we are, look at that, bright, very bright, right? We're neon, right? Not only neon, we're turning blue. I mean, come on. We're turning green. And finally, we're getting the crossover. All right, so hold it. Oh, look at that. So somewhere around where we start seeing the previous resistances, somewhere around here, all right, I might still now then pushing my stop to entry and a little bit higher. All right, always, if you get stopped out, make sure as much as possible that you get stopped out at least $1 on profits, right? So, dude, at least you're getting paid for trying, right? So that's what happens. So, and let me show you a couple of things that can happen here that can become very frustrating. All right, because guys, believe me, I've been there. So let's just think this is not a great entry, but let's just think that we're doing the break of structure entry. So we have a structure here. We start closing outside the structure. We are still above that zero line, and well, then we're pointing up on our true 7. Perfect. Seems like we want to keep going upwards. Oh, wrong one. This one here. It seems like we still want to go upwards. Perfect. I'm going to be placing my long position at candle close, and even maybe I got the very top or even a great low in here, right? And then I have my very first candle in the green, right? And you go, look at that. What kind of candle is it? That is a doji candle. That's indecision candle. So are you going to? Yes or no? That depends on you. All right. Let's just go for No, let's hold it. Let's hold it one more candle. All right, that candle looks not like a doji. Perfect. Let's move my stop to entry. And then what happens? Oh, stop me out at $1, and then the damn thing decides to blow afterwards. All right, so what the F is going on in here? So you have two options in here, okay? First option is moving closer your stop loss, reducing the risk. Second option will be pushing it up, getting stopped out, looking at your oscillator, and once we're getting, again, money flow back up, re-enter with your next signal. Yes, you're not going to be taking a great or the greatest, let me see, this is in the way, the greatest trade, all right? Look at that. I'm looking for it to point upwards in here. Point upwards, money flow at the support. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. My entry, long position somewhere around here of this candle, trying to catch it. There we go. And then my stop loss is right below my candle here. So remember, I made $1. And then right here, that's when we start taking some profit. So once again, full candle, body and wick, move your stop to entry, and finally it worked. This, again, you need to time this out because sometimes this is going to happen at 4 in the morning. So when you move your stop to entry, place an alert. Maybe you can ring on your phone. Maybe you can see an update, or maybe you can just leave it or head switch it or whatever you want. But that's more in advance, all right? So just make sure that when you're moving your stop to entry, you're doing it because you want to protect your capital, all right? And you are susceptible to coming back down to your entry point, taking you out, and then the damn thing keeps moving to the right direction, right? That is a very frustrating scenario. So consider a re-entry if you still have the characteristics for a long, all right? So just saying, move your stop as soon as possible, regardless if that is moving it slowly as you go up or moving it right away to the entry as soon as you have one candle, right? And both of those have different perspectives, all right? So just saying, remember. So right here at the very candle in the green, we move our stop to entry. Perfect. We take some early profit somewhere around here, and we start calling out another 50% out in here, leaving a 25% moonback. All right, that moonback will be taking either all the way up there, or even better, all the way, oh, come on, all the way up here. All right, remember, it's a moonback, 25%. Great. All right, then, and here's the difficult part. We were talking about, hey, what is the structure, right? The structure is telling me, hey, breakout, retest, all right? Sweep of the lows, perfect, significant high, double top, right? Then I'm looking for a higher low, all right? I have my higher low, great. And then, ooh, buddy, look at that. Right here, when you take your profits and the thing starts going back down and then creates the pivot, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. You just created a lower low. And remember, you technically didn't make a higher high. You just did an equal high. So where is the thing going? Down. Of course, down. Where is your entry? Well, either right here, but you're getting to the support. So let it go. Remember our other areas of interest in here. So we come back down. We bounce. Remember, it's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. So breakout, retest, and where are we based on our oscillator? Bullish or bearish? Below the zero line, no money flow, and coming back lower. Perfect. Short it, and off you go. TP number 1, TP number 2, and right here, as you're getting the flip of the ribbon, consider opening another long, right? And then you have 1 or 2 opportunities, go back, there we go. Or it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. You are back again above it. You have volume, right? Your money flow is doing, all right. And then, well then, happy days. You long this up. Perfect. So the 15 minutes moving quick, very, very, very quick, in my opinion, right? So, I mean, we left out this trade and then coming back to it, we're having 1, 2, another 3 trades. That's why I don't like to do the 15 minutes on the live event, because it kind of like tends to be, I used to do that before, and it's like, hey, dude, but you never called it out. So why does it never happen throughout the show, right? And I mean, yes, you always talked about the past and stuff like that. So that's why you see me normally doing 30 minutes to 4-hour trades, so we can keep a track like candle to candle, right? So slower trades, so we can keep a track on candle to candle, and even have the opportunity to say, hey, you know what, guys, this thing is turning around, right? We might be having a better chance to, well, call it out right now and then make different adjustments to it, right? I think it's better for the live classes because, you know, it's once every 12 hours, the trades. So it moves like with the time span of the live session. But remember, the 15 minutes must move much, much quicker. Let's clear this up. Let's see if I can hold it up. All right, perfect. We still have a lot of information in here, which is just the 2 trend lines. Great. Let's turn on support and resistances. And right now, I'm going to be adding one more thing, predictive ranges. You guys know that I love my predictive ranges, all right? So I believe the blocks are the ones that we change it. All right, perfect. I think that we can live with blocks. And, well, our next target first, it's area of interest, area of interest, area of interest. We're already there. We need to take some profits. Have you taken some profits? No? Go ahead, do it, right? What are you waiting for? For this to go to the moon? Spoiler alert, I don't think so. But we still have that hope. You remember, that's why we have the moon back, the 25% in. But right now, we can see another big support. So far, low. Not a higher high, man. Right? An equal high. Still a higher high. So, sorry, a higher low. What's up next? Oof, if we are lucky enough, a higher high. We're at, I think that's pretty clear, right? Here's a caveat. We can absolutely not have that higher high. Why is that? Let me turn this off. Oh, don't do that. Let me escape that. And let's bring another trend line in here. So, if we start cleaning things up a bit, because this trend line is already broken, we are looking into a wedge. Right? All right, so we just consider that. Remember, simple, simple, simple. Always start with a trend line. So what could be the next even lower low that we could have? There's 2 options. One, this one right here, which we're breaking. So we're going to be looking for breakout continuation. By the way, this is going to be your re-entry if you did not cut this up. All right. And if we lose this, prepare for your next short in here. All right. As always, market structure. And remember, this can be over exaggerated like in here. In fact, look at that, coming up, coming down, and back down, coming up, coming down, and but this one was exaggerated. You see that? And then coming down. And maybe your re-entry in here, if this was too exaggerated and it took you out, right? You still made some profit. So remember to be flexible right now. Not everything is great, but remember, follow the patterns that you're looking at, all right? So far, we have plan A and plan B. What's going to be the plan A? Plan A, we are above the zero line, so we're positive, right? Yes, we have a reversal. We're coming back down. We just need to consolidate this high, right, to become bullish. So, I mean, we're already bullish because we longed it from here, right? But remember, and this is where the tricks come into handy, right? Or when the SMA come in handy, the SMA combo. Remember that SMA combo? Or better yet, our quantum or dynamic reactor. Let's go ahead and add it, all right? And by the way, your reactor is just for reference. It's going to be telling you whether you still or not bullish or bearish in the meantime. Again, take this with tweezers, because right now, if you see that I'm sliding in another indicator, but yesterday we mentioned up to 3 indicators. right? And this is where we start walking on quicksand, because it's very easy, right, to right now go into my scripts. Oh, not my script. Invite only at Prime. What is it? Market Oracle. That's Market Oracle. Market Oracle Plus. All right, and then said, all right, I want trendy, I want prophecy, I want reversal, I want reactor, I want quantum, right? And then when you know it, all of the hard work of the detox that you did is gonna get back at you once again, right? And then, oh, should I have bought? Look at that, I should have bought. Dude, this is going to the moon. And then, whoop. Right? Right? So we need to keep that under control. So first of all, let's take a look at trendy. I love trendy. Yes, I love it. I mean, I like it. But at this point, we're not gonna be doing trendy, right? We're not gonna be doing prophecy. We're not gonna be doing reversals, right? We're just gonna be doing dynamic reactor. That's it. That's it. Okay. Let's just wait for this to clear up, and we need to understand. There we go. Remember this trend line, right? Where is it pointing at? Dynamic reactor. Perfect. Do we have a full body crossing? Yes. Almost a confirmation. Almost there with that confirmation. We just need to see or know that there is not a huge thing here that is going to push the price downwards. All right. So how do we know that? Once again, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, support and resistances. And so far, we don't. We can still go this little bit higher, man. And if we can make that, count with the retracement and your next re-entry if you did not cut this long. All right, important. Remember to be flexible, because coming back down and then you just open it. Hey, did you watch your oscillator? Did we have a rejection and money flow? Are we crossing over zero? Right? So you just have to start adding those little questions, and you're gonna have your answer. Right? If we bounce back down, this is going to be our next re-entry. Look at that, into that trend line. And this is your short opportunity, right? Remember, that over-exaggeration could be this one here, okay? So remember, that is the volatility that we don't like. This is the shit show, right? Because you know it's happening, but it's just so exaggerated that there's no stop loss that's going to hold this. I mean, you should have what? Short position come back down. Kind of. I mean, previous high, little wiggle room. Barely. And we still have a chunky stop loss, right? So, just saying. Let me read you guys to see if we're tracking it here. Let's see. We have Trade Intuition in the house. What's up, my friend? We have Gear. What's up, brother? Hello, everyone. Welcome. Great to have you around. Trade Intuition in the house. Bingo, bango. How's it going, my friend? Wix Wife 2 Dop in the house, of course. Double, triple, quadruple shout out to you, my friend. Gear. Yes, stop loss to entry plus fees. Yes. But remember that sometimes leads to frustration, especially on ranges. So we just need to manage that both psychologically, right? And in the charts. But great. I also tried to manual trailing. Oh, that's a good one. Yes, that's a good one. So manual trailing stopped after a certain percentage. Great. Love it. A certain percentage. All said, my gaming buddy. How's it going? Aussie guy in fam. How's it going, my friend? Thank you so much for joining. We also have Henderson Go. Hey, OC. Morning. Good morning, my friend. It's night where I am. It's almost 6:29, 6:30 p.m. But welcome. Great to have you here. Bounce of the downtrend. Yep. Dick Contra Trader. Yeah. New Eric Garthian. Yo, what's up, man? How is it going? Everything good in here. Great to have you around, my friend. Great to have you. It's still on the dynamic reactor. Yes, it's right now on the dynamic reactor. Is the resistance that we're trying to overcome at this moment? What is it? Learn to spot CVD bullish and bearish absorption. Oh, love it. Up your trailing. Great, love it. So the absorption zones for me are the weeks, right? Are the weeks. And then I also look at them, or I have to understand them using this one here. The man, it always goes out of my head. It's the liquidity zones. The liquidity zones. Yep, liquidity zones. So yeah, they tend to give you absorption zones too. That's a great way to trade. I love it, love it. Shout out to you, my friend. Love it. Oh, see, your idea short entry on TSNR. Let's take a look at that. Paste. And it was a stock, right? Yes. Is TSNR X? Is that the one? Or am I missing something? Let me know. Oh, is that the font? Alright. This is the only one. I'm gonna do it, but you let me know if that's the correct ticker. And yeah, we'll take a... Ooh. I can only do daily? Alright, well. I don't think so. Oh, I see. Alright, perfect. Yeah, that was a pretty weird ticket. Let's actually get rid of it. Let's paste it. There we go. We got it here. So let's see. Maybe I can also do this. Binance, I think, will have good liquidity. All right. Short entry. Ooh. All right. So just remember, look at where we are at. All right. But let's keep things simple, right? Let's do... And we are basically, we don't have anything in here. By the way, we're working from zero right now. We're still on naked charts. All right. So just so you know. So let's go and do, I don't know, 30 minutes. I think. Oh, whoa. Oh, I do remember. I do recall, man. We talked about this today early in the morning, right? I think so. Yeah. Henderson go. Yep, I know. All right. So guys, let's follow up on that, right? I think that would be a good one. So it could reverse on the red resistance and bounce again green support. I think so. Yes. Yep. Using the dynamic reactor as a support as it comes back down for then continuation up. Yes. But remember, we need to wait for the dynamic reactor to hold and then almost do an early BOS trade, right? So that would be... If it was there, what? I'm not tracking. But I think, yeah, it was on the hackers, isn't it? Did you request it on hackers? I think so, right? So let's take a look at that. We were talking about this. Let's actually go to... 1 second. Here is... All right. Yes, we got it here. So we were on the 4 hours talking about a good shorting area. We talked about this being a good shorting area on this zone, right? We were just looking for that flip of the ribbon. I think we can do a better job in here. Let's go to 30 minutes or even the 15 minutes, right? Let's turn things off in here and let's do the same thing that we're doing right now. Let's keep things simple, right? Even the 15 minutes, perfect. On the 15 minutes, we have an up-ranging scenario here, right? Or something like that, or I would rather draw it like this, right? And this one I would rather kind of do it like this. You just need to consider that these lines are also involving fakeouts, all right? So it's gonna be pretty easy. Let me just get rid of this, get rid of that. We have a bearish divergence, great for a short, all right? Where our money flow is not looking that great. So far, no shorts. BOI number one, you have pointing up through 7, and you have positive money flow. Right. Another important thing is that we're having a flip of the ribbon right now. All right. So that nice flip of the ribbon, that doesn't mean long. Not so far. Let's just bring up dynamic reactor. All right. Let's just wait for that, and also just get rid of this. All right, perfect. We already have TP number 4 out of the whole movement. Important. Usually the third one is the charm. Always, right? So we have the first one here, which it did the same thing. Break down, retest your short, come back down. It does a lower low, right? And then breaks the previous high. This is what you had switch for a long. Okay. What am I saying that? Because we might have one more push. Okay. We might have one more push. First, Second, where do you think they're gonna try to get you, right? Third. All right. This is what I speculate. But let's actually stay with the numbers here. JR, my gaming buddy, how's it going, my friend? Welcome. All right, so let's just get rid of this for now. Okay. And let's bring up first dynamic reactor. We already have it. All right. We are entangled with dynamic reactor. So in this case, what I want to add instead of the dynamic reactor is one of SMA combo or my quantum reactor. Let's change it just so I have a point of reference. All right. So quantum reactor, let's see. Oh, it's pretty low, which means that we can reject. We're keep entangled in this area. And let's just see how is our SMA combo. Oh, pretty low, pretty low. Perfect. So right now it's time for me to add support and resistances. All right. Let's clear this up and start with the first indicator combo here. So let's just wait for this. We have a resistance. We don't have anything else. So if we start breaking this resistance, off we go. So prepare for a breakout continuation. All right. Let's bring up a couple of other stuff in here because those support resistance end up there. Again, a very nice resistance up here. So this is still a good area for shorting. But if for any reason we break out and retest, remember, the third one is the charm, right? So just be careful. Why is that? Because we're still above the zero line. This is your zero line. We're still above the zero line. It seems like we're making the flip of the reboot. So a very powerful signal, whether we're going to continue or not, it's being above the zero line. All right. Yes, we have a bearish, oh man, you gotta be kidding me. I need more coffee. Divergence. But remember, a divergence is not like a set on stone. It adds to your confirmation. All right. So far, good areas for shorting, 0.0078. All right, with Twizzards. And let's see if we have anything else. I'm going to leave these on because they're not too intrusive. And also, let me just get rid of this, and you know what? Much better, easier. All right. Now we're going to be looking at our predictive ranges. All right, so predictive ranges, support golden, resistance golden, support golden. All right, so we could be doing that. And if we lose the golden, the next support is going to be here. We're going to be looking for rebound. All right, or resistance golden and continuation to the purple. Guess where the purple is at, right? So areas of shorting, again, I still hold my ground. This is a good area of shorting. But if we start breaking through and using it as a support, we must still have something like that with another bearish divergence. All right. Your higher high and then the big push to the downside. So I would say test the water somewhere around 0.007816 and then consider waiting or re-adding or not re-adding. I mean, closing your position and then reopening up somewhere around 0.0090. All right. So yeah, that's what I got on this one. So Donato Cabrera in the house. I don't see you, man. I don't see you. How is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Donato Cabrera. How's it going, my friend? Welcome. Welcome. Great to have you. All right. Let's do a quick overview today. Let's keep this simple, right? And tomorrow, Friday, is going to be the last recap from the detox classes. All right. So it's going to be a 3-class series. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. All right. So we're doing some detox on the indicators. Why? Because I know right now some things like are pumping, like Giga, right? Is that the Giga? Am I doing things wrongly here? Did you mention Giga? No. Oh my goodness, bro. I just made a whole different thing. All right, but I think it's gonna be the same analysis. Well, if you didn't want to trade Giga, there is Giga for you, buddy. I'm really sorry. Dude, what I'm getting old, my friend. I'm getting old. Here it is. All right, I'm so sorry. I thought we had it. The same thing. All right. important, we're below the zero line in here. All right, we are not bullish, but the money flow is keeping us up. All right, important, when we start seeing this one to the zero, oh my goodness, man, crossing over the zero line as we have some volume in, that's where we're gonna be. That's if we are going to be considering a long, maybe breaking this trend line with strength. Let's actually give it a little bit more of that bigger room. All right, something like around those areas. Another important thing is that we either have a wedge or a downtrending flag, and that is depends on how you draw your trend line. Like for example, this low, and maybe these lows, we can actually do something like that, right? And as you can see, it creates a different pattern, different figure with a fake out. I'm gonna go for a bull flag in here. Well, I just like it more. That's it. And push it up in here. So let's now bring up the rest of our indicators. I'm just gonna turn everything on, and it's gonna be a little obnoxiating. Oh, we have a very nice support area. All right, so not shorting so far, man. All right, a big support, big trend line. Perfect. Okay, I need to clean this up first. The resistance. All right, we could start making a breakout retest and then a double top, right? As we're breaking through, I think we're gonna break through. Not 100% sure, I cannot assure you that, but I think so. All right, let me clear this up now and then bring the next one in here. Another, so let's just push it lower in here, like this. All right, and then there we go, our VRVP, another high, the resistance in here, another resistance. So this would lead me to believe that we could do this more elongated back in here and then continuation. So let's just get rid of that and do it like that. All right, perfect. For the plan B, if we reject out of right now, areas of interest right here and right there. So longing this area, all right? And I mean, important here. Everything is bearish, but this thing is bullish. Your volume is bearish, but the money flow, it's been steady input. So that's why we keep the shape up there. This could absolutely be a Bart Simpson. So when we start losing this area, all right, and we start losing this area, consider shorting the inner range. This is not something common, all right? But again, this is not a common asset, all right? Not so far. And look at the gaps of volume that we have, all right? So this is not something really trustworthy, if we can call it like that, all right? And then, well, taking profits. Right here and right there, if we get the Bart Simpson. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of things here happening in the back end. We're getting ready for the Black Friday event. So guys, I'm floated with working here. But guys, thank you so much for joining. Really hope you are enjoying this. Tomorrow is gonna be the last detox scenario, and we're going back to just scavenging some coins. All right, but in the meantime, stay safe, keep it simple. All right, and of course, trade the trend lines. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.
Bitcoin is going to zero.